live television, everyone. We just had the most chaotic 8 minutes of my life. I own, it was really, I can't even blame, because it was my fault.
50-50.
It was 50-50. Here's what happened. Jax went dark. And I was like, damn, where the fuck did Jax go? And Jax is texting me, oh my God, Olivia's calling me. I can't get back in. Re-add me. And as she's saying re-add me, I'm realizing, because I'm seeing comments, people being like, this is not Patreon. Like, what?
It's
realized
public.
I forgot to set the live link as unlisted and not public. My fault. We're starting over, brand new episode. We have to talk about America. We have to redo everything we did. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, Turdy. It was a dress rehearsal. Now we're feeling ready. I was just saying how you are the president that this country needs right now, caring about your fellow Americans, your countrymen, more than anyone else that I'm seeing.
More than anyone else that I'm seeing as well. Thank you
we're
for bringing that
glad
up.
Everyone is here from all different corners of the country, of the globe, I believe. We have a great show for you where we are going to frake some Fred. We are going to get into some of the topics that we discussed in the last week. They're going to be pretty relevant. And we want to get your guys' thoughts, take the temperature of the room, and shoot the shit.
Shoot the shit. So again, sorry for the chaos before. Just what I was saying before we got interrupted was that if this is your first time joining, welcome. Thank you so much. Maybe you're a new Patreon member. Maybe you missed last week. If you are watching this, but you're like nervous, like I can't really pay attention. Will I be able to watch this later? Yes. Freaking Fred is always available to stream after the fact, but it's so much fun to do it live,
Yeah. It is so much fun
to be there, get in the chat. The chat is popping up. Make sure to drop a comment. Where are you tuning in from?
They're saying Turdy24.
Is that what they're saying?
Turdy24. They're also saying Turd and Jax 24.
Love.
I guess that would make you president, me VP. And that works for me. Yeah. I know the opposite wouldn't work for you, so I don't know. I'll take the deep seat.
I've actually thought a lot about, a future presidential run. And if I did win, which is really unlikely, it sounds like a lot of work. I always when you see insights into the president's schedule, it's nonstop. And that's really not something I could be down for. Yeah, of course, I would love the power and the access to celebrities, but I don't know. I don't think I would like to work that much for 4 years straight, every single day.
I think the job is kind of what you make it,
So I could phone it in is what you're saying.
Yeah, you could be the de Blasio of presidents, waking up 10 a.m., maybe hitting the gym downtown.
Gym?
That's what he used to do.
Oh, wouldn't be me. But yes, I'd make it my own.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see what you do. I'd rather see you up there shaking that thing.
Ain't that the truth? So if you're new here, welcome. We're going to have a great time over the next, good chunk of change. We're going to sit here. We're going to talk pop culture. We're going to talk toast. We're going to play games. Again, the chat is popping, so make sure you're getting your comments in. We'll read some on air. We do a really fun game over here called the Yikes or Likes, where we talk about, this week in pop culture, some things that happened on the toast, in the toast universe, what we thought about it, if we agreed with it, if we didn't agree with it. But before we dive in, Jax, what's with you? Tell me what's going on. How's Rolled?
Since you guys last saw me, I guess what's new? I made egg bites for Rolled.
I saw on your Instagram.
Them. They're a little too rich, I feel like.
No such thing.
No, they were too cheesy. There's egg yolk, which of course babies should have the yolk. It's really good for them. But I don't know. I'm gonna give it to him. He's gonna like it, but I don't know that I'll make them like that again. They were a little too cheesy. I think we need more egg. We need more broccoli, less cheese.
More broccoli, less cheese. Yeah, that's never gonna be a motto of mine. More vegetable, less the good stuff.
Yeah, I know, but it was just too much. And I also want to make some egg bites, for me, that are egg white bites, so that are just a little less rich.
Yeah, whenever I think of egg bites, I think of Tanya Rad.
I know, me too. I literally want to text her
for,
I need a recipe. I was actually just Googling some. Yeah, I was Googling some because also I hate when people ask people things. It's you could just Google it.
Yeah, that's true. But it's always nice to connect with a fellow woman in business.
Oh, for sure. But it's not nice to give people jobs and put them to work when you could just Google it.
I think that's a really, really good point. I'm actually really, really glad you brought that up.
Yeah. Why, do you have something specific that you're thinking about?
No, I because I do often find myself doing that, being like texting someone I know and being like, "What was that thing you said?" And it's like it's so easily Googleable. But I'm a social person, and I feel like I'm already so bad at keeping in touch with people. So like if I send a text, it's like not only am I getting what I need, but I'm also just checking in on a friend.
No, that's true. When you ask what was that thing you said, only that person can tell you, you know?
Yeah. No, no, no.
Like,
But like I find myself in situations where like someone recommended a product to me and it was like I could have just Googled it.
yeah, or if you're like, "Can you send me the link for that serum?" It's like, "Can you open your phone and go to Safari?"
Right, right. But also, like, if it's someone I'm texting who's an influencer, I like to give them like I want people to send me their affiliate links. Like, I'm here to support women in business.
Okay, that's a really interesting point. Like, if someone asks you for something, and sometimes it happens like in a DM, like a one-to-one. It could be a follower or someone that you know, and they are like, "Turdy, I love your sweater. Where'd you get it?" And you send a link. Like, do you send an affiliate link because you know they're about to buy it?
I know, but then you also feel like a little like cheap, like just send the
Yeah,
link.
like you have to like make money off of this exchange.
So also, I'm seeing some comments, people asking about my blush, and I just want to say, I got ready like so hastily because I wanted to watch because I want to talk about Vanderpump Rules. I just watched the first episode and I was like rushing to finish it before freaking Fred in case it came up, and I got ready so quick and I just like did my blush and I'm wearing so much goddamn blush. I literally look like a clown hired for a kids party. But shout out, it's Rare Beauty, and it's not the one that everyone like shits their pants over, which is this. This is fine. It's good. It kind of stains my cheeks. This one's better. It's the melting blush. Just shout out in my influencer beauty guru era.
Interesting. I'm getting a lot of comments about my lip color. I've got a
Ooh.
package from Tarte of like a ton of makeup, and I got so many amazing lip products. Claudia and I were just talking about.
Jackie,
So
it's
right
what I'm
now,
wearing too.
oh my god, Turtylicious. Right now, I'm wearing one of their pencils in the shade like rosy something,
Hmm.
and the Maracuja lip gloss on top, which I'm obsessed with. It's around here somewhere. And what shade am I wearing, Turdy?
Do I look like I work for the brand?
I'm wearing Turdy Pink.
I'm wearing the Maracuja lipstick, even though nobody asked, in shade rose.
I'll give like full deets on my story later with an affiliate link, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Because one thing about me, oh, you want something? I'm linking it.
Affiliately.
Affiliately linking it.
In a
100%.
way where an affiliate is present.
In the way in which there is an affiliation.
Because I love to be affiliated with other things.
I'm constantly searching for different affiliations to affiliate with.
You know what? That's actually a great segue into our first subject. I'm going to move
Okay.
some things around because our first segment of the show, which is like the longest segment, it's so fun for us. It's fun, for the viewers. You can really make yourself known. It's called Yikes or Likes. So we are going to throw out a topic and we want to hear from you in the comments if we're yikesing it or we're likesing it. So in order to let us know if it's a yikes or a likes, you're going to drop an emoji. So if you yikes it, do any emoji that connotes yikes. It could be the X, it could be the cringing face, like vomit,
This
yikes.
this one's really popular, and I recommend this one.
Oh no, for me, I recommend this one.
Oh, that's good too. Yeah, squiggly mouth.
Squ-
Yeah, squiggly mouth.
or do we likes it? In which case, hearts, thumbs up, etc., etc.
Right.
So our first topic that we want to know if you yikes or likes, which we're just going to bear it all here, because we saw some mixed reviews
Yeah.
about our Patreon episode yesterday, our influencer episode. Claudia and I were like so into it, and when we finished it, we were like, "Oh, that was so interesting. That was so good." And then we saw a lot of people being like, "This was fascinating. Love the BTS," and we saw a lot of people being like, "There was no tea.
Right.
This was whack." I saw
Yeah.
it was whack. So I want to hear what the people say.
I want to give my side because like every now and then we'll do an episode and people were like, this was not it. And whether I agree or not, I can, for the most part, understand some of the negative feedback. Like no offense to you, but like when you got backlash for your chili, I was like, all right, I guess that someone could find this like maybe repetitive or maybe like not the most like, exciting. Like
You really didn't have to bring my chili into it. I just
no,
want
that's
you to
the
know.
most recent example.
You
Like
could have made your point without that.
I
Okay.
didn't fight
Bring me down.
against. I didn't fight against the feedback because I could see a world in which someone would feel that way. After our episode yesterday, I was like, oh man, this was such an interesting episode. Whether you're just into influencer culture, you want to become an influencer, you just like love the internet. I thought it was such a good, interesting episode. We were still like really funny. So I was really shook to see people being like, this stunk. What?
Okay, yeah, because I'm seeing a lot of mixed reviews. What I'm seeing is they wanted more tea. But can we say like it can be like a likes, but we just wanted more tea. Like
But
it
you know,
didn't
I
have to
don't
be like horrible or tea filled. But when it comes to the tea stuff, and we said this in the episode, that like it's really hard to talk shit about influencers or like say your piece when like these are people who are like our colleagues. And also, like, even if I feel something in the moment, like, I always sometimes think about that person listening to it. And
mm-hmm.
like, it's, like, really sad to think
Yeah.
about. So it's, like, is anything worth saying? I don't know. But to me, like, I would find it interesting to hear an influencer talk about other influencers, even in a positive way. It's like, which influencers do you look positively on? Like, I just thought that was all interesting. We're I don't know. I thought it was good. Like,
Yeah,
I was
and to
shocked.
be honest, I didn't really go in being like, I'm not gonna like I was ready to talk. Um, but I don't really have like crazy hot takes about influencers. I'm friends with a lot of influencers. There's obviously influencers whose content I think is like weird, but I'm not gonna be like your content sucks. So
Yeah.
I was down to start stuff. Nobody, I haven't really fallen into like influencer drama before. And I prefer to keep it that way. Like I'm very non-confrontational and just feel like people on the internet would never take my side because I'm like so disliked by so many.
Mm,
So I would never want to be in like, oh my, did you hear what this person said about Claudia on the podcast? They have beef now. Like I would never. So there's definitely influencers who I've had like negative experiences with, just like on a personal level, that I would never like say publicly because I don't want to be in beef. I don't know how like for years, like Jeffree, Tati, I don't know how they fucking did that shit. I'd be so afraid.
yeah. And I just feel like even sometimes there are influencers who like their content sucks and I'm like, what are you doing? But then like over time, I don't feel that way anymore. And
Yes.
then like, I don't want that out there. It's weird. And it's also different than like spilling tea about celebrities who like will never hear it, who don't know
Mm-hmm.
you, whose literal job it is to like, you know, listen to that to get paid the millions of dollars that they do. But there's just something like different about it when it's influencers. So I felt like we did a really good job of like covering the industry. Someone said I think you guys did a good job of covering the industry vibe,
Yeah.
which I agree with. And like also there was two sides to it. Like so talking about fellow influencers and the business stuff. I thought it was good. Thought they'd be desperate for a part two, but
Me too. I'm reading
what
in
do
the
I
chat.
know?
I'm reading in the chat that people wanted more tea because we made it seem like there was gonna be tea in our promo of it. And I guess that's a fair criticism. I feel like literally every single bitch on fucking Instagram does that, like clickbait. So like when we do it, we get in trouble. But like literally that's what
Lit-
every podcast, like with the clips being like, coming up. Like everyone fucking does that.
Yeah, literally. We never do it. And also, I don't feel like we were clickbaity because it's not like we had the episode recorded and we were like, the tea is hot. Like we
Right.
were talking beforehand. We didn't know what we were going to sit down to record. I think that, there was stuff that we could have said that maybe we might have said, but then in the moment that we didn't say, maybe it's just not our time.
I still stand by that. I thought it was a really good episode. I think if you're into internet stuff and you want to become an influencer, you're just like fascinated by the business of influencing, I think you'll learn a lot. And not every episode is going to be for everyone, but I like that one. I really did.
I liked it too. Oh, and people were upset I didn't say who the Amazon influencer was, but I literally said that I think she's, like, probably a nice person and just had a bad day, so, like,
Right.
I don't need to, like,
Not going to
expose her as
drag.
as being a bad person.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely agree.
So now we regret having mentioned it in the first place if you're not gonna name names, lesson learned.
Yeah. I just feel like, maybe we did participate in clickbait culture, but like, so does everyone. Like, leave us alone.
Um, yeah, agreed, like, that's the internet,
Yeah.
but I guess it's not worth the come down, and maybe those other people who do clickbait, like, deal with the come down of, like,
Hmm.
"This was overly hyped,"
Yeah.
and we just, like, don't read all their comments to see it.
Yeah. Maybe.
So I guess no part 2.
I guess no part two is what's being said. Even though like I feel like we had so many unanswered questions and they were so good. But whatever. Like this is Patreon. Whatever the Patreon wants, Patreon gets. So that's that.
Yeah. No, and okay, I feel like someone said you said when you hate when people talk about influencers and don't name names. No, I said that, and having had done that in the past, I agree that that should not
Yeah.
be done, and we should not have done that. Doesn't mean I'm going to say the name now because I don't think the person is a bad person.
Yeah.
So, but at like I would not say it again.
No,
Also,
I
I
feel
think it
like
was Claudia that said it. I think it was Claudia
yeah,
that told.
no, I literally said like I felt like deeply regretful for like doing that because it's annoying. You're right. The person probably was just like having an off day, and seeing other people do it made me realize like I don't ever want to do that. Like it's called being self-aware.
Yeah, Turdy, look at everyone saying they want part two
I
with tea.
cannot keep up with the back and forth, the swinging of the pendulum in the Patreon. Like I truly cannot.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Like, would you want part two, even knowing like it might not have all the tea that you're looking for? Also, we were answering the questions that were given to us. Like, these were the questions people wanted answered.
Here's the thing. You know what? I'm just gonna chalk it up to like not every episode is gonna be for every single person. That's what I'm gonna chalk it up to.
Yeah. I like, and I sometimes we do an episode and I'm like, oh, I don't know. And it doesn't get this reception.
No, sometimes, and we've actually, and I think we say this all the time, like we can episodes that we don't think are going to be good. And sometimes I'll post an episode and be like, I don't know if people are going to like this. And it's their favorite one. I mean, that happened the first time I ever did like a clothing try on haul. I was like, no one is going to want to see me like sweating and complaining about clothes not fitting me. And they loved it. They loved it. So you really can never predict. I think for the most part, we think we have a good pulse, but some things you never know.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll decide between the two of us if we want to do a part two. Let's look at the questions and see if there's a conversation to be had.
Yeah.
Though I felt like I could keep talking.
Me too. I was like, wow, we're already at over an hour.
Yeah, it was so long. Like we just had so much to say.
Oh, somebody suggested perhaps bringing Margot in. She has a really unique POV because she does like a lot of the influencer stuff that we don't do anymore, like going to events and like girls trips with influencers. I actually think maybe she would have good perspective.
And I love bringing Margot in for anything.
Me too. She's our actual Gen Z expert.
Yeah, so I think it's really important that we bring her in for this so that we can talk to her and that because she'll have to talk to us for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I love bringing her in because it's just an excuse to spend time with the girl that I love.
And she has to like listen to you and answer your questions because like she's on the air as
She's
opposed to
on
just
the
like
air.
when you're FaceTiming with her and she's just like scrolling and it's so fucking rude.
So I would say like overall, I saw a lot of likes. Like people liked the episode. People had their problems with it, and that's fair. This is America. It's
Yeah.
Patreon.
Yeah. Okay, that's which is what I expected.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, yikes or likes, Ariana DeBose's rap.
I don't want to pile on because it was obviously terrible and everyone's gonna yikes it.
But like I yikes it so much that I likes it.
Yeah, that's actually
Do you
true.
know what I mean? Like
I
I'm
became
obsessed with
so
watching it.
obsessed. Angela Bassett did a thing. Viola Davis, my woman king. Queen.
Yeah, like you can't stop singing it. Like that's when you're like such a hater that you turn into a fan. Like I am now a fan.
If you don't know what we're talking about, we referenced it on today's episode of The Toast, so make sure you listen to that. We're talking about the moment that went viral from the BAFTA Awards, which is like a British whatever. I don't even know what it is.
British
it's like
AFTA
Oscars.
Award.
Yeah, it's a British AFTA. Yes, it's a British AFTA. It's like British Actor and Film Thespian Association. And Ariana DeBose is getting dragged, all in good fun for the most part online. And you're right, Jackie. It's a yikes that turned into a yikes. It was kind of iconic.
Yeah, it was. Claudia, my lip gloss just showed up. You saw me looking high and low for it, and it's just right here. Makes you think in a real way. It's Orchid Maracuja Juicy Lip. But so don't order it. I will post an affiliate link.
Jackie, are you saying that you don't feel alone in your studio? Perhaps there's a spirit there with you?
I'm never alone when I'm with Turd.
That's true. That's true.
Which is a great segue into our next subject for yikes or likes, which is Turd as a nickname. Could it be you? Is it a yikesy nickname? I saw a comment on a video from last week that said like, Turd is funny, but I don't want to keep hearing the word turd on the show. I wanted to write back, what if it's turdy?
No, I don't care because I like it. And it's a big old likes for me.
Claude, no, because I like it.
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
Self-quoting.
And I just want to say, yikes or likes, whatever they may be, at the end of the day, it is my call because I'm the one who's technically being referred to as a steaming pile of shit.
We didn't say it was steamy.
Steamy
and we didn't
turd.
say it was a pile. It was just one log.
Oh, so I'm just a log now.
One mere turd.
One small little turd. I'm leaning in. Hashtag lean in. And I'm good with turd.
Love that so much.
And I love the what's the word I'm looking for here? Help me with the word.
Okay, what are you trying to say?
I love
The variations?
yeah, I knew you would know the word. Variations that we get. Turd, turdy, McTurd. Like it's gonna keep evolving. It's an
It will.
evolution.
This is just one stop on the way
It's
to
just a
Turdsville.
stop on the journey on the train to Turdsville. All aboard!
Choo choo.
Dead.
Love it. Okay, next up for Yikes or Likes, Mark Consuelos joining live with Kelly.
Oh yeah,
Is
what
this a
do
great
people think?
is this a great decision? Likes, is working with your husband sound like a nightmare? Yikes.
Yeah, I really do. I'm curious what people think. Like as a viewer, like what do you think about the pairing?
We're getting X boring yikes.
Yeah,
No.
vomit,
Not like other
crying.
turds.
Some Delaney says, "I just don't care," and you know what? I respect that. So important to know like when it's worth having an opinion and when it's not. I'm the
Yeah,
queen of
because
not
at the end
caring.
of the day, neither you nor I, nor a lot of people who are listening right now, because I think we're in the same time slot, watch the show.
It's
So
so
what do we
true.
care who she wants to sit with?
That's
You can't
so
sit with
true.
us.
That's so true, by the way. Like, not us literally like writing theses and doing 30 minutes on the
Being
podcast
like,
about a show that I've quite literally never actually. I have watched live once because Brian actually does really good segments on there, like travel, family, whatever. So that's when I have watched it because they love to have Brian on, but I've literally never watched a show. Like,
us being like, her show is going to suffer.
yeah, right. Like as if we fucking care.
As if like we are the ones who have any say in whether or not her show
But
goes
you know
on.
what? Shout out to Sarah B, who just left a comment. Like, imagine the headlines that we're going to get out of this. If we thought we had mindless news before, now that she's hosting with her husband, and I'm sure there's going to be like a lot of, marriage stuff, family stuff, like that gets made into headlines. If we thought Kelly's news was mindless prior, I don't think we have any idea what we're truly in for now that Mark has joined the show.
Yeah, especially since it's a New York based show. So, like, page six is not above
Yeah.
printing the mindless scoop that they shall scoopeth.
Yeah. That's a really good point. That's like annoying. I guess we'll have to bring back that. We used to do it like
No, I
weekly.
want to hear like some behind the scenes tea. Like Kelly was upset that Mark didn't
Oh,
match her outfit today.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about news stories, like just write ups of like things they said to each other
Oh,
on the show, like
oh,
mindless write
joking
ups,
about like that
sex.
she sprayed breast milk or something.
Right,
Like,
right. No, sorry. We were just not speaking the same language. Those were the types of stories I was thinking about. Like
oh,
every time they say something even remotely like about their personal lives,
it's a headline. Yeah,
it's a headline and it's gonna be annoying. That is
I
what
was thinking about like behind the scenes too. If she's giving him the cold shoulder one day, if she's like annoyed by him, like those become headlines from
yeah.
the
I
spies.
actually am very interested in the behind the scenes like drama of the Live with Kelly show because whenever we get it, it's always interesting because Kelly's always out here acting like a diva. So I like shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay, next, yikes or likes. Carrie and Aiden getting back together.
Oh, what do people think about this? Because I'm standing no. Like
Yikes.
I think Aiden was too good for Carrie. She was like really unworthy of his just like all American love. And she was mean to him about his house and suffer. And she obviously cheated on him. She broke up the engagement. I'm not here for these two. Like her and Big were actually perfect for each other.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Aiden
mixed.
deserves better. He always did deserve better, and he certainly deserves better after she chose someone else for the last 20 years.
Right. And it's like, oh, now that he's dead and the option of us and literally never getting back together. Honestly, the yikes or likes are pretty mixed, which I feel like is just everyone's take when it comes to Sex in the City. Like people are really team Aiden and some
No,
people are
like
really
I
team Big.
love Aiden as a man, but the thing is, I hate Carrie, so she doesn't deserve him.
Aiden likes. Aiden and Carrie, yikes.
Aiden greater than Carrie.
Of course, greater. That's simple math. I feel like you learned that on the first day of the first grade.
Okay, are you ready for our next topic of discussion for yikes or likes?
Wait, really quickly. Did you ever finish Younger?
No.
Can I tell you what happened?
Yeah. Oh, I did, and she's with Josh, and
Well,
spoiler alert. And the perfume, the Forever 21 ad or whatever, Forever 26.
what?
Like they did that she did a campaign for like a Forever 21 type clothing
But she
store.
was 45.
Yeah, because and that was the point. She was like the fake because she was like ageless, whatever. Josh shot it or something.
Mm,
No, Josh was
whatever.
in it. Josh was in it
What?
because it's in his bar. And then the pictures went up, and Charles saw it, and he was like,
Yes.
it was McSteamy.
So I just want to say, and I won't like dive deep into the spoiler that Jackie just dropped, because I think that's like Darren Starr's thing. It's like, two men, and he really divides the audience. And like for me, it was so clear who the better choice was in Younger. And the way they like chose the other one, I feel like that was Darren Starr's way of like making up to the Team Aiden folks. You know what I mean?
Maybe like doing something different this time.
Because like they were like really not equal in terms of compatibility, eligibility, like romance. Like one of them was clearly better.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, there are people that were Team Josh.
No, I know. And I'm saying like that is something I cannot wrap my mind around.
No, no. Team Charles, period.
Team Peter Herman till the day I die.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of couples, next topic, yikes or likes. Not as a couple, but just like, are you on their team? Are we likesing them, Carl and Lindsay? Or
Mm,
yikes for the energy that they're putting forth this season of Summer House? I
good
personally,
question.
it's a big likes for me, like a
It's a big
really big
likes for
one.
me too. It's a big likes for me too, sis.
Anything can happen. That's like what's so great about pop culture and reality
Yes.
TV and just time. Like anything can
Oh,
happen.
the yikes are rolling in. Once again, we have an
No hearts.
unpopular
Wait,
pop
yikes.
culture.
Okay,
I
someone
actually
keeps.
love doing this segment because I really am curious like what people's thoughts are on shit we say on the toast. Like I know we have YouTube comments and stuff, but to see it all laid out as like yes or no, I actually find it so
Yes or
helpful.
no?
Yes or no? Were you fucking other bitches?
Were
Yes
you
or
still
no?
texting bitches? Yes or
Oh,
no?
yeah, thank you. You got that right, not me. Are you still texting bitches? Yes or no? So good. Oh, also, do you see the drama between Tokyo Tony, Black China's mother, and Black China herself?
No.
Black China's like, not Black China. Tokyo Tony's like always going on Instagram Live, like saying her, daughter's private business. She said like her daughter won't call her back. She's fucked 40 guys in her bed this week. Like really kind of crazy things.
Damn. Did Black China say anything?
I don't think so. That's like to me, that's like really that's not cool. Like mother daughter fighting on the internet. Like
No.
keep it.
That's crazy.
For the most part, people were like yikesing Carl and Lindsay, which I find shocking because I felt like for so long, and especially when they got engaged, there was like so much fanfare. People are like, "Oh my god, this is like literally happily ever after fairy tale, etc."
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, now just watching Vanderpump Rules and seeing how Tom is like where they keep flashing back to like Tom like literally never making his wife a priority and like never defending her and like almost going out of his way to like not support her. It's refreshing to see Carl like, all right, Maya sat him down and said like Lindsay was mean to me. Like, sorry, I'm team Lindsay.
Yeah. And it's like, for a second, you think he's going to be like, oh no, my friend Maya. But then it's like,
Right.
no, he is so rooted in his relationship. It's like, oh, are you saying something negative about this person who is like
Life.
made from my rib?
Yeah.
Go away.
I actually I never really cared much for either of them separately. And even when I heard they were together, I'm like, oh, that's so nice. But like I didn't ship at all. And now seeing like how much of a mature ass relationship it is, like I respect it.
I respect it. You know, I don't want to go to dinner with them, but
Somebody made a good call.
I have
Isabella.
respect.
They should not be on the show, but they're a great couple. That's like
No,
fair.
okay, yeah, but like then what would anyone talk about?
Right. That's true.
No, the
That's true.
whole show is about them. Like they are living rent free in people's minds. Like, oh, the AC is out. It's Carl and Lindsay's fault.
No, it's so true. Like everyone is bending over backwards to like blame everything going wrong on Carl and Lindsay.
Everything.
But it is a show about like young people drinking and partying and staying out all night and hooking up. And
It's
honestly,
also a show about like in-house romances.
yes, that's true. But I do think that's why Kyle is like so hell bent on being like the last one standing every night because he's the oldest, he's married, and he has been in a relationship the whole time. I think in a way he like feels like this responsibility to stay in that like party era because
Okay,
it
but would
keeps
you
him.
rather, if you had to choose, would you rather have Kyle on the show or Carl? I'm so
Oh my
much
god,
more
that's a good
interested
question.
in Carl and like what Carl's bringing to the show. I don't think that staying up late and drinking like I don't think that's interesting. He's 40 years old. Like I would rather see Carl.
That's interesting. Honestly, they both bring different things to the table because yeah, Kyle is the one who like makes the fun. Like people do stay up drinking and that is what the show is. But what the fuck would they be talking about if it wasn't for Carl? And Carl has like laid it all out in
Yeah.
this show for years. Like he filmed the day his brother died. Like he really has done the most.
Yeah. Okay, well, our last topic for Yikes or Likes is Travis Kelsey's post Super Bowl energy. That Claudia is yikesing, I am likesing, and
I
I
don't think I'm
want
going to be
to
alone on this, sister.
and I want to hear from everyone. Are you likesing his energy, or are you yikesing it?
I don't think I'm going to be alone here.
Yikes,
Let's
heart.
let the comments roll in.
Oh, hearts.
Big
You know
yikes.
what? You can always just see what you want to see. Isn't
It's,
that
by
true
the
about
way,
life?
Jackie, you're so right. Yikes or likes is literally a metaphor for life. You're just seeing what you want to see.
And I'm sure everything, aside from the obvious ones, come out to like 50-50, 60
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
There's no real landslides, again, except for the obvious ones.
Yeah, no, you're right. I guess I'm seeing a lot of both. But that's just like, that's a personal preference. And I'm not saying I don't like Travis Kelsey. I'm just saying some of his energy was like rubbing me as like thirsty and kind of like ick after the Super Bowl. Like him on Fallon and then him in the post game interview and like all the, it's just a lot. It's a lot.
I
And I
understand,
like him.
Turdy.
And I like him. That's not me even being a hater. It was hard for me to even say that because I'm actually a lover. I watch Catching Kelsey.
You hated Catching Kelsey. I
It
watched Catching Kelsey.
it really was a truly fucking terrible show. It
But
really
tell us how
was.
you really feel.
It was not good, Jax. It was not
Honestly,
good.
Travis Kelsey should be on Summer House.
That's literally how he's acting, by the way.
He should be on it. He would be great.
Who do you think are like New York people who would be good for like with all these like TikTokers who like work remote? I feel like they're
Yeah,
like not they should really like
Keenan.
I mean she would never. She's too elevated for that. And she like
She
has
was
a
on The
house.
Bachelor.
She has a house. Oh, I guess that's true. But like that was just her launching pad and now she's like a high fashion queen. Like she has a house in the Hamptons. She doesn't need to share a house, you know?
Okay, fine. I just like her.
Guys,
Um,
drop comments about who you think would be good on I feel like people would have good
Let me think
calls
of
for
Snitch.
oh, Snitch, of
But she's
course.
so busy. Good luck trying to
Yeah.
wrangle her. If she could, if I would honestly be offended if she did Summer House because it means like she has the time and she doesn't spend it with us.
It's so true. Even though it's just the weekends, like it's really for busy people.
Serena Kerrigan.
Yeah, she would be good.
Yeah, because she's also like looking for love.
Yeah, and I feel like she runs in similar circles as the girls. A lot of
Yeah,
people saying Remy. I feel like Remy wouldn't do it, but she would be good.
I don't think she would do it, but she should.
Yeah.
Oh, Danielle and Brooke. Yeah, they could come on
Yeah,
as like
from
a
Gals on the
twofer.
Go.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of Hannah and Paige when they came on.
Yeah, I feel like they just kind of steer clear of podcasters because there's so much overlap between Bravo and podcasting.
Yeah, and it's like you can go on Bravo and then start a podcast, but if you have a podcast, like you're not coming on. Except Paige
Right.
and Hannah worked for like Betches, and they were content creators before.
Not Paige, just Hannah.
Oh, they say
Paige, like,
Jackie, you would be so funny on Summer House.
would you wear a bathing suit?
Not today.
Not today, not tomorrow, not ever.
No, like maybe in a few years.
I know who would be perfect.
Who?
Shannon.
Yeah,
Because
and she's a reality TV girl.
she's styling, wilding, living it up in the city. Shannon would be the perfect. And I feel like she knows everyone kind of socially, but not really where she has like established friendships. She's like has history of being like a villain on TV, but I feel like that's a good one.
Or Sophia LaCourte, people are suggesting.
Oh, she would be great too. Young, fun, hot TikToker, but she's really young. That's the thing, is like Kyle's 40.
I know, and the new girl, Sam, is 25. And they're the ones staying up till 1:30 a.m. playing hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah.
I couldn't get that scene out of my mind. If that were my husband,
Oh
and
my
I was
God,
asleep,
no. It was
and he was with a girl
mortifying.
15 years younger, like I know they're not doing anything untoward, but the
Right.
act of itself is untoward. Like, am
Yeah.
I just like such a narc, or is that fucking crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. But Shannon's a podcaster.
Damn. But she's not like a Bravo
No, she's like
podcaster.
real lifestyle, just like fabulousness.
Yeah.
Oh, and she just had Brooke and Danielle from Gals on the Go on her podcast. You guys should check that out. It was
They
really
honestly
cute and
should
funny.
start like an Influencers of New York show. We literally had this conversation, and that's when I offended you and I said you could go on as like an influencer mentor.
Yeah, she said I could be like a maternal figure.
And
bitch.
I said you could be a mentorial figure, and you were offended.
Should
if
I
you were
not
like
have
a
been?
mentor to like Sophia LaCourte,
Should I not have been?
you would be an amazing mentor.
You're such a bitch. You know what to say to hurt me, and you do it.
No, because like you're like it would be about like influencers who aren't as like established as you are.
Yeah, it would be about like the hustle and bustle of like going to events and trying to get, brand deals. No, by the way, and I agree, there's totally a show to be had
No,
there.
and like it would be like Margot going uptown to have lunch with her big sis who's like made it, and she's like, Margot, you have to do this. You
Oh.
can't do that. Don't be caught dead here. Like
Oh,
that's you,
okay.
Wenchie.
Okay. I guess when you say it like that, like almost like Lisa Vanderpump or like Patricia.
Mentor.
Not mentor though. Kind of role model. How about that?
Okay. Success story. Even though those words mean mentor. So I don't know what association you have with the word mentor,
Mentor
but
is old.
Saying you're the Patricia or the Lisa sounds older to me.
Yeah, but like Patricia and Lisa are rich and like fabulous. Mentor, I don't think rich and fabulous.
You can't mentor someone if you're not a success yourself.
I didn't say success. I said rich and fabulous. Success
Okay.
comes in many different forms.
Okay.
But I do like that idea,
So
actually.
you'll be the rich, fabulous elder?
Jackie, call me elder again. Call me fucking elder again, bitch, and find out what happens. I'm not a church elder.
Turd. Like if you're the rich, fabulous elder on the show, who am I?
Such a good question.
Scary.
Fine, if I'm an elder, then you have to respect your elders.
No, or you could be like running amok with the little kids and then you guys come to me for advice. I could be the rich, fabulous elder. I would take the job in a heartbeat.
No, I like it now. Like when you said it before, I like thought you actually meant it as an insult, but when you put it in the like template of like Patricia and Lisa, like, oh yeah, I would totally do that.
Yeah, you need to know I'm never setting out to insult you. Like I know better than that. I value my life.
No, I don't know if I agree with that. When you said I'm untethered to a generation today, that was fucking hurtful.
No, it was meant to be a compliment. You're not a millennial.
It was elder abuse. That was fucking mean. Untethered. First of all, untethered is such a fucking rude word. Like, if anybody ever described me like in a serious way, it's like an untethered person. I don't know if there's actually a worse way of describing someone.
It's
And so that
horrible.
for me, like that word just like punctures. And then untethered to a generation, then you're using my generational like insecurities
Your
against
generational
me.
trauma.
That was hurtful. That was hurtful.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought
No,
in a
I
way
don't
it
need
was
an
a compliment
apology.
because like you're not a Gen Z, not yet a millennial. And I feel like you don't want to be a millennial. So I was respecting that.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
People in the comments are like, no, Jackie, you're in your roasty era. Like, no, I'm not. So often people like take such offense to what I'm saying, but like I mean it in the like they're not understanding my words.
Yeah, I feel that. You're really not like a roastio. You're not.
No, and like you think like I never like I'm literally the least confrontational person ever. I'm always like hyping people up, yet somehow I'm the villain.
No, you're not the villain. No, I know. Like we're just fucking around.
No, I know, but like people think I really tried to hurt you. I know that I did hurt you, but I didn't try to.
No, no, no.
That's the difference.
No, guys. Jax would never hurt McClure.
Like, who hypes up Clarity more than me? I want to see you on the show with the influencers. I'm just like, you don't want to, I know you don't want to be down there in the mud with them. So I'm trying to keep you uptown, having lunch, not walking around.
No, and like real sidebar, I actually don't really identify as an influencer.
Oh, how do you identify? What are your pronouns?
Podcaster/comedian. Really, that's how I feel. Like whenever people ask for like my bio, like if I'm doing a panel or something, it's always podcaster and comedian.
Love that.
And I guess like influencing is a part of my job, but that's just like, if you're doing administrative work in your marketing job, you're not an administrator, you're a marketer.
Yeah, no, I know. You're like being a comedian is a great thing to call yourself.
Yeah. Oh, and I am.
Yeah.
And
no,
I'm
that's
hysterical.
Strong. I go with podcaster. Someone asked me today what I do for work. I said I have a podcast.
Who asked you that?
Bruno's groomer.
Oh, and what was it? The reaction it's really so uncomfortable. I would really prefer if people didn't ask me what I do for a living. It's honestly inoffensive. It's like asking a woman her age.
We have a new subscriber. So
we
gotta be funny tomorrow.
Queen.
Unless she listened to today's episode, in
Which was
which
great.
case, shout out.
Yeah.
I don't know that she'll be joining the Patreon anytime soon, but we did talk about freaking
We
Fred
gotta
with
hook her in. We gotta
Yeah.
hook her in.
So no, I don't mind. And then it's like, honestly, once you say you do a podcast, like there's a lot to dissect there. A lot of questions, a lot of follow-up questions.
I know, and it's like, to be honest, like, I hate the question for a multitude of reasons. One, because it's just difficult to explain what I do. Two, I don't then want the person to go listen to the podcast. Like, if I have to see you in any way, like, please don't listen to my podcast.
I know, I agree with that, but the thing is, like, it's not like we do a show. Like, I'm not embarrassed by our show whatsoever. And
No.
honestly, I feel like if you listen to it, the worst it could be is like not for you because you're just like not into pop culture or just like you don't like comedy.
But
But it's not like we're doing like, the early days of Call Her Daddy and it's like
sexy.
yeah, like you wouldn't want certain people to hear it.
But also, like, I hate the question because if someone's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I have a podcast," and they haven't heard of it, for the most part, like, podcasting sounds like a pipe dream, Like, they don't know we're so successful.
Right. No, I think that was part of her follow-up questions. It's like, okay, so how do you make a living? Like, so you do your
Right.
little fun podcast. Then
Right,
what?
but what do you actually do?
Yeah.
It was like, "Good luck with your project."
Yeah, there's so many degrees to podcasting. You could either be doing it for an audience of one, or you could be Joe Rogan.
Right, and I think more often than not, people, if they haven't heard of your show, are just gonna assume you're an audience of one.
Yeah, but that's on them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like if
for
you
not
want
having
to doubt
taste.
me, doubters, non-believers, just wait till you check out the charts, won't you?
Doubters. Non-believers.
Once were her dreamers.
One of these days you'll open up your eyes and you'll realize that girl was a one-time teenage drama queen. A hacked up every day you wanna be. She'd have changed her destiny. I could do a whole like season of podcasts about that movie.
Confessions of a teenage drama queen recap podcast we should do.
Yeah.
Every episode we just go through 5 minutes of the movie.
And I can do 60 minutes on every 5 minutes.
You know what movie I watch? That's just like a classic movie that when we were on staycation, I was watching and I just was too lazy to change the channel. And I was enjoying immensely because it's perfection.
What?
Mean Girls.
It is quite literally.
Perfection. Every word, every sentence, perfect.
No, and really, it's so crazy when you think back, like how that film like raised us.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
I loved that movie. It shaped my whole perception of the world. It was perfection. I bet it's probably even funnier now. I haven't watched it in a while, but I think a lot of probably like the jokes and stuff maybe went over my head because I was watching it when I was really young.
Yeah. No, I think by now, like, you're all caught up, but
yeah,
it's just crazy, like, how really perfect it is. And like how she started out as just like this innocent girl and like didn't care about any of the drama and like how high school and like just this culture just like sucks you in.
Yeah. And this like this moronic hierarchy that you feel like means everything.
No, but like because those girls like are just so fabulous. Like the whole school is gravitating towards them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I guess she's on crack.
Say crack again.
Crack. Let's get into the next segment, which is the 6th story award.
Oh, I'm so fucking ready.
That didn't make the Fast Five, but that holds some sort of special place in our heart. So, Turd, I would like you to go first and share with us what has captured your heart this week.
So a story that I'm really invested in that like we didn't speak about on the toast because like honestly it's like fucking moronic.
Maybe if you chose the stories we would have.
Yeah, for sure. But it would be Mama June Shannon from Honey Boo Boo got married. And people is describing it as an intimate and glamorous Panama City ceremony. Now the photos have come out. Mama June has pink streaks in her hair. She looks so happy and she's with this like hot guy. All the girlies walked her down the aisle. That's Alana, that's Pumpkin, it's all of them. And there's one rogue daughter in there. Maybe that's her new man's child because I don't recognize that one. No, she said all 4 of my girls walked me down to Justin. So who is? I don't recognize one of these girls. I thought she only had 3. Whatever.
Maybe it's his. Maybe it's Justin's.
That's what I was thinking, but she said my 4 girls.
No, it's Jessica.
Jessica, Pumpkin, Alana. Who's the fourth?
I'm trying to find out in the comments.
Well, the affair really, it did look stunning. It took place on the beach. Again, she had this like bright blue bouquet, and a honey boo boo and pumpkin were wearing blue. She had these pink streaks in her hair. It kind of looked like a gender reveal, just like with the pink and blue themes. And they got married in front of this like gorgeous arch that had the pink and blue, tulle on it. She looks really happy. She's wearing this like halter gown. They cut the cake, they had cupcakes. It really like is so cute, and it's like so Florida, like just like everything looks like it's Florida. Honey Boo Boo looked great. And I just feel like we should be talking about this more because it's really it's beautiful, especially if you grew up and you watched Honey Boo Boo, the TV show on TLC. Like this is important.
Yeah,
Anna.
and her wedding will be featured in an upcoming episode of Mama June Family Crisis, premiering on May 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern on WeTV.
When I tell you I was obsessed with that TV show, and I know that they did a bunch more shows on WeTV. They did one about her weight loss journey, and then Honey Boo Boo. I'm not interested. Like you really will never. And then they moved out of that house. The seasons that they got on TLC before they became like American icons, and they were just really like very poor and not famous, and just like were filming their lives, like seeing how much mayo they could eat. It was magic in a jar. What's that phrase? Like something in a
Uh,
jar.
in a bottle.
No, no, no. There's genie in a bottle.
No, it's magic in a bottle.
Lightning in a jar.
In a bottle.
Lightning in a bottle? Yeah.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. Lightning in a bottle. Like it was so epic. And them recreating it, like it's just they were too famous and they had too much to lose. Like it wasn't the same. Like if you watch that show, real ones know. Real ones fucking know.
Mm. Well, I love that for you. I'm so glad that we're surrounded by love, and that you're in this love bubble.
And by the way, Mama June and her man are both, I think, like over a year sober. And I just think that's cool that they got sober together. I feel like that really bonds a relationship. She said at one point,
they're like Carl and Lindsay.
Oh, sorry, no, her other boyfriend is the one she got sober with. This woman has had so many relationships, but this is just an interesting anecdote from People magazine. Her and her ex-boyfriend who got sober together at one point had a meth addiction that was so bad they were spending $2,500 a day on meth.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So I'm happy for her. She looks like she found her happy ending. She found sobriety, and Alana walked down the aisle, and I'm obsessed.
Love that. Well, my story is an unlikely legal feud between Eminem and Giselle Bryant and Robin Dixon. Because
Eminem the rapper or the candy?
Eminem the rapper. Eminem filed an opposition on February 14th against Giselle and Robin's trademark application for Reasonably Shady, the name of their podcast, according to docs obtained by Page Six.
What?
In the docs, the rapper says he believes his brand will be damaged if the Real Housewives of Potomac stars are issued the trademark for their broadcast. He also said Reasonably Shady can cause confusion in the minds of consumers who have known him by monikers Slim Shady and Shady since the late 90s. Eminem has exclusively used the name Slim Shady and Shady for entertainment services since 1998 and owns the trademark for Shady to be used on merch.
I mean, this is such a stretch. I thought that maybe he had a song Unreasonably Shady. Like he just the shady part. It's a word outside of it means a tree shade or being shady. Like this is so weird. What a weird hill for him to die on against two people who are much less famous than him.
I know. Well, they filed a trademark for their podcast name so that they could sell merch and water bottles and lip gloss, and he objected to their filing. So it's just like crazy that
these two
he knows who they are and their podcast Reasonably Shady. And it's just shocking. I wonder if he has legal leg to stand on, because the trademark offices, like, they don't care that one's Eminem and that one's, Giselle and Robin. Like, if there's a conflict here, like, there's a conflict.
Yeah. I actually feel like maybe this is just like standard law stuff when like somebody enters a trademark that like might infringe on yours, like you just do it, because I don't think he's like monitoring what the Real Housewives of Potomac are doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, maybe it's one of his lawyers, but it just is funny that he's like in the headlines with them over their podcast Reasonably Shady.
It's so funny. By the way, their podcast has been making like so many waves because they have a Patreon, and they dropped major bombshells, but only on their Patreon, and people were mad.
Also, apparently someone just commented, so I don't know if this is true, that his daughter has a podcast called Just a Little Shady.
Mm.
So there's a lot of
Still, but that's
shadiness going
still.
on, but like still, look, search the word, tea in the podcast app and how many podcasts
Oh
come
my
up.
god, reality
Yeah.
tea with teeter. Like everyone's like tea. Like everyone's always
I
putting
love Tea with Teeter. Don't knock that
everyone.
show.
Everyone is always putting tea in like their podcast and web show titles, like into any word. Like if my name was like, I'm trying to think, like if my name was
Tegan.
oh, tea with Tegan, reality with Tegan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Tea with
there's
Turdy, tea with Turdy.
talking tea. Oh, but then there are some that are like about tea. The
Oh my god,
Southern tea, like the
like the
beverage. It's called The
that is
Essence of
so
Tea.
cute.
Your Couple Tea podcast.
My tea runneth over.
Yeah, everyone has their cup of tea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like becoming like an unoriginal, like cliche. Unless it would be
Term.
called tea with Turdy.
Unless it was tea with Turdy. Then I would listen.
Savannah Chrisley has a podcast, The Southern Tea.
Someone said, people who say tea spill the least amount of tea.
It's actually so true.
I do agree with that, which is why we didn't say we were spilling tea on the episode yesterday.
McClure Tia.
Sometimes I say, like, not ironically, sometimes I say the tea is hot.
I really actually hate like tea. Like I hate
I know, but
that.
like sometimes, or I said just last week with Kelsey Ballerini's album, I said there's no tea here.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's true.
And like I don't feel weird that I said that. But I would feel weird if I said, "Oh, Kelsey Ballerini's album, she spilled the tea."
It was piping hot tea.
That was spilled.
I
Third-degree burns were endured.
I hate that fucking like the tea thing. It honestly makes me cringe.
Now we need to monitor ourselves for not using the word.
Yeah, no, because like then we called it out, and tomorrow we're gonna be like, the tea has been spilled and it's piping hot.
And then someone's gonna make a compilation of like us saying tea is fucking weird.
100%. It's so hard to be like such a hypocrite, you know?
No, it is. It really is. And sometimes like you run out of things to say, so you just end it with like, I'm shook, or like tea is hot. Like
yeah, no, it's always like a way to end. Well, the tea was spilled.
It's not like, here's my hot take. The tea is spilled.
Oh my god, stop. Like tea.
Tea.
Tea
Also,
with Teeter.
I've been listening to Kelsey Ballerini's album on repeat.
Me too.
Repeat.
Do you see she's going on Call Her Daddy? Oh, excuse me.
I did see. And
she said she made a TikTok. She was like, I said I would do this album and like do one interview and I will never be talking about this again.
Okay. So I hope she says something fresh, but I feel like she said what you need to say in the album.
I know. I feel like I actually left no stone unturned. I mean, I'm still curious and I'm gonna tune in. Oh, Morgan Evans just posted a response to Kelsey's album. Excuse me, Morgan Evans. Let's go to his Instagram. That would be so crazy. Not me getting like gaslit. Oh yeah. Okay, he's ready. He wrote a statement. It's really sad for me to see this person who I spent so much of my life with and loved with all my heart saying things that aren't reality and that leave out what really happened. She knows I'm not the type of guy to speak on those things publicly. If this is what she needs to heal, I hope it helps. All I ask is that if you're on my pages, please don't be mean. Don't be mean to Kelsey. Don't be mean to each other. Life's too short.
Agreed.
Damn.
Agreed.
Yikes.
I feel like she's able to speak her truth, and a lot of what she's saying is very much like a her thing, aside from, he took half.
Right.
Is very much a her thing, and how she lost herself in the relationship, and how she, what's that one song that's like, lose me again or whatever?
Leave me again.
Leave me again. She left herself. Like, I don't know that Morgan was demanding she be someone she's not, but she just like, I watched an interview with, not an interview, it was just a CMT video where she was singing that song and she was just like, I'm a people pleaser. It's just like how I am. Like, and I just want to be the person that like you want to be in front of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not necessarily like more, like they're just incompatible, obviously. But like I said on the episode last week, like it doesn't mean we need to all slam Morgan.
No, yeah. I think he's probably like anticipating a lot of backlash coming from the episode that comes out tonight. So maybe that's like his way of defending himself before it.
Yeah, because she talks about him taking half the house. But it's like, did
Right.
he take half the house or did he take half the fortune that she
But what did they
made?
cut the
And
house in half?
no, they have to sell it and they split the
Right.
proceeds.
You know, I think it's like 50-50 money, everything. They're not going to live in that house together. And she said she bought the house after that he didn't even want. Remember that one?
No.
She at the end she's like, "Remember that house you didn't like? Well, I just bought it." Um, I guess when they were looking for houses, she like found the perfect house and he hated it.
Oh, okay.
So she's in a new house already, is what I'm saying.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we'll find out. Let's do peak or pick because my phone's dying.
Oh man. Okay.
So, what is your peak of the week?
Peak of the week. Let me see. What did I write down? I forgot. Oh, I totally forgot. I meant to mention this on the toast today, but I decided, like yesterday, to continue saying yes to life. And I am going to Vegas this weekend for 24 hours, and my ass is seeing Adele. I have seen way too many videos of what looks to be like an amazing concert. I don't know how long she's doing this residency for. So I'm fucking going. I'm going. I'm saying yes to life. I'm gonna be so tired. I'm leaving Saturday morning, getting back Sunday night. But I'm going. I'm gonna do one night in Vegas. Like I live in LA, and I'm so fucking excited.
Love that. Your pit.
My pit. I touched on this yesterday, and I really could do a whole podcast episode about it. But when I really tell you how yesterday was supposed to be a day off that was like relaxing and fun, and I spent it at the grocery store with my husband, like really contemplating every choice I'd ever made that led me to that moment. Um, I can't I can't under I can't stress that enough. It was really one of the most horrible mornings of my life. And people are like, what do you mean? I got a lot of messages, people being like, oh my God, me and my husband cannot go to the grocery store together. Like we're so different. And then some people being like, what's wrong with the grocery store? And it's like, because there's two types of people in the grocery store. Like people who want to make their outing for the day, the grocery store, and spend as long as they fucking can there. And people who just want to get in, get out, get the stuff that they need, and move the fuck on with their lives. So the whole time Ben was like, why are you in such a rush? Like, we have all day, we have the day off. It's like, okay, so what, we should spend the whole thing in this fucking smelly market? Oh my God, it was, and it took us like hours to bounce back from it. Like we were not okay till the rest of the day. And then not to like keep bringing up my period, but I did get my period and I was just like, oh, I got my period. And he was like, oh, well, that makes sense. I'm like, excuse me? Like it invalidated my reaction to him at the grocery store. Can you believe that shit?
Wow. Wow.
What's your peak?
My peak is my staycation. Oh my God, we
Oh
had
yeah.
the best time, and I'm so glad that we went. And I wasn't like sure of it, and we've never like taken a little family trip like that, and it was so worth all. Like you have to schlep everything with the baby, crib,
I
food,
know.
bottles, milk, blah blah blah, and it was amazing. And I was totally worth all of the schlep. So
No, I know. And for me, it was worth it for you to schlep because I got such amazing content of Bruno and Harry's first time at the beach. So for that, like, thank you for getting in the car and schlepping all that way with all that stuff. I know it was hard. Thank you from the bottom of my heart because
yeah,
I don't know if I'll ever see anything as beautiful as Harry's legs at the beach. Like I don't think there's a more beautiful thing that exists.
I'm not sure either. And then my pit, which was a week long journey that no one wants to hear about anymore, but it was my pit and it ruined my week, was my neck and my back, like being out of commission and just like not being functioning. That was not okay.
My neck, my back, my and my crack. I don't know what the rules are on YouTube Live about saying the P word, you know?
No, it's not a YouTube live thing. It's kind of just like a scruple thing.
Yeah, no, it's like this is a
About
family friendly
saying
show.
like people watch with their kids.
Yeah, I mean, we're in millions of homes in America.
So for our final segment, what should we title this episode? Drop it in the comments.
Yeah, the comments are going off right now about a saga that I have been following, but I
Me
think
too. Me too. I'm obsessed.
there's a saga going on in the comments. I'm like, I do know what's going on, but like I don't want to call anyone out, but like it's funny. And I wish like we could I wish that we could make it the title, but like I'm not in the business of like calling people out.
No, but I just want to say, I'm glad that we came full circle because the comments like were really bothering me the whole time.
No, and
And now
everyone, yeah.
I saw this person's explanation of what she was doing, and I forgive her. She had
Oh,
no
what was the
idea
explanation?
that she just like really wanted to know someone else's perspective, and she didn't know that we could see it every single time she wrote the comment. Like she was just she didn't know. Like
Amy, we love you. I'm sorry. Honestly, that's annoying. And you know what? Today's episode is dedicated to Amy. You're a queen, and I love you.
and her question was, "What are our thoughts on
Let's
Kendall
talk
Jenner
about
and
it.
Bad Bunny?" I don't believe it. It sounds too good to be true.
I don't know if I believe it, but if I do, I'm really here for it. Like, talk about like a better looking couple. And everyone was recently like obsessed with Kendall and Harry. They're both single. They're both single. I'm like, I don't really even ship it that much. I ship this much more. And this is actually, we were talking about like what the Kardashians need to kind of, they need to do
Yeah.
something. Like,
Yeah.
something needs to happen. This is maybe something. Thank you, Amy, for bringing that up for real. Today's episode is for
I think
Amy.
it's too good to be true. I don't believe that they're romantically involved. I think they went to a group dinner, but I hope I'm wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too, because this could be like a good thing for them and a good thing for us.
Yes. With that, I do have to go. It is dinner time in my household. So, Turdy, always a pleasure.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being Patreon members. Hope you enjoyed this fucking chaotic
Wait,
episode,
so
but I
what
had
are
a
we
great time.
titling it?
Amy 2024.
Amy and Turd 2024. You got
And
demoted
Amy,
to
I
Veep.
love you. Don't let everyone make fun of you in the comments. You're a queen. And I know you realize you didn't know you were running the comments so many times, but I love you, Amy.
Love ya.
Amy
Bye.
Army. Amy Army. That's what we're calling ourselves. All right, I'm ending
Love
the live.
ya.
Love you guys. Bye.